Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are no doubt wondering at this point, why am I looking at a bunch of Space Marines and also a mattress and a flat pack bed and a vacuum cleaner and an ironing board? Well, allow me to explain. Mostly you're seeing all this stuff because I wanted to have something suitably impressive to show to go along with this announcement, and well, here it all is. Kind of to reflect all of the hard work and stuff I've been doing behind the scenes for the past few months in order to get this all kind of ready, as opposed to just, you know, my usual announcement video stuff where I just stick up a black screen with this stupid mustache face on it and talk into a microphone for a while. I thought this would be a little bit more, well, a little bit more impressive, like I said. So, as for the stuff in the background, well, that's just because I haven't tidied this room up yet, and I don't really have anywhere else to put it right now. I guess I'll just have to slide it out into the hallway when I start recording for real, so to speak. But anyway, whatever. So, this announcement will come as no surprise to anyone who's one of my patrons over on Patreon, because you guys already know about this. I've already made a video about it. And for those of you who follow me on Twitch, where I frequently talk about this stuff on my live streams, but if you're not into, you know, if you don't fall into one of those two groups, you're probably going to be a little surprised by this, potentially. I don't know. But nevertheless, here it all is, and I will explain what all this means. If there was ever a mission statement for this sort of channel, and there isn't, but if there was, hypothetically speaking, it would probably be something along the lines of what we do here really is we tell stories, we create characters and narratives, and we tell stories throughout all of the Let's Plays I've done, when I'm not just sort of clowning around and playing some random video game like Halo, for example. When we're playing Skyrim, or we're playing Morrowind, or we're playing Neverwinter Nights, or something like that, it's all about creating a cast of characters and telling stories with them. You know, doing stuff outside the bounds of what the game usually allows you to do, and, well, role-playing, in the old-school sense, you know? Spinning a tale. Now, in my efforts to do stuff like that, and again, patrons, you've probably already heard me give this speech, but hey, bear with me. And if you haven't, and you are a Patreon, you should probably go check out the patrons page, because I actually posted an announcement video for this a while ago. But I don't think all of you watched it, judging by the view count. But anyway, so there might be a few surprises there anyway. But the point is, in my quest to kind of continue making narratives and tell stories and stuff like that, I've recently had to start looking beyond just video games, because at the end of the day, the kind of environment that you need, that sandbox environment that you need to do this stuff, it only exists in a few places when you think about it in terms of digital gaming. Inevitably, if you want to have more creative control over this stuff and you want to create new narratives and stories and things, you have to start looking beyond digital games. You have to start looking at pen and paper RPGs, at tabletop games, war games like Warhammer 40,000. And that's what I've kind of begun doing. If any of you have seen the collab videos I've done with Winters, you'll be fully aware of the fact that I play lots of Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40k has been kind of and there's my finger just creeping into creeping into the shot there. I'm getting used to this new camera here, folks. You'll have to bear with me. This whole filming with a camera thing as opposed to just screen capture software, that's hard to say for some reason, is a bit new to me, so there's going to be some hiccups. But anyway, so Warhammer 40k has been a part of my life for, well, I don't know how long, to be honest with you. I'm going to go ahead and say at least a decade and a half. Quite a while, you know, on and off, but yeah, it's been a thing for a long time. And obviously, as I said, if you've seen me play with Winters, you know that I'm into this stuff. You know that I've got armies of Warhammer 40k hidden away, and the point is, I guess, that it's no longer going to be hidden away. Whenever I went to see Winters, I asked him lots of annoying questions about how all of this stuff works, how he makes the videos he does, and that kind of thing, with obviously the aim being to start kind of making my own, and you know, the brightness has gone a bit weird, apologies. Like I said, still getting used to this. But yeah, it's been a long road of me making and building stuff and spending an awful lot of money to make and build this stuff to sort of get it to a point where I feel like I could start making some actual videos, some actual content with this kind of thing. And so that's the big announcement, I guess. It's that I'm branching out a bit. I mean, don't worry. I know for a fact right now, I can say this with some certainty, that not everybody is going to be interested in this stuff even remotely. Like, this is definitely not everybody's cup of tea. But then you can say the same about any of the games that I play on this channel, to tell you the truth. And this is ultimately something I'm quite passionate about. Passionate enough to spend all this time and money investing in it anyway. So that should tell you something, I guess. But it's something that I wanted to do for a while, and now I've sort of reached the point where I think I can do it. And it's going to be interesting, it's going to be fun, it's going to be a little bit scary for me, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, here we are. So I'm going to start making 40k stuff. And we're not talking about just generic 40k videos where I talk about 40k and blah blah blah. I'm talking about like actual sort of what they call battle reports. You know, it's about as close to a let's play of Warhammer 40,000 as you could possibly get, I suppose. I'll play actual games with actual people. I'll film it. And you get to see the whole sort of thing. Now, why are you looking at these Space Marines specifically today? Well, because I wanted to get some minis out on the table to show you guys for the announcement. And these Space Marines in particular, these guys you're going to be seeing a lot of to begin with going forward. I do have many other armies. I might show them in this video if I can get some bits of them out. It took absolutely forever to get all of these guys out on the table here. So yeah, we'll see. But anyway, you're going to be seeing a lot of these guys to start with, because I think I want to begin with my Space Marines, because Space Marines are 40k at the end of the day. Even someone who's never played 40k or has never been into it in their life recognises a Space Marine these days. They're kind of iconic like that, and the camera doesn't want to focus on them. That's great. Thanks for that, camera. But anyway, they're quite iconic. They're also quite easy to understand, and one of the requests I've had from my patrons who I've discussed all this with has been to try and make these videos as noob friendly as possible. So to try and explain the game as best I can and explain the universe of 40k as best I can to those who are not intimately familiar with it already like I am. And that's something I aim to try and do, and for that reason these guys are probably a great place to start. I've got other armies, as I said. I've got Imperial Guard, I've got Chaos, I've got Tyranids, I've got Orcs, I've got Necrons, I've got all sorts hidden away in boxes and crates and stuff around here. But I'm showing you these guys because, well, one, they're one of my favourites. And two, one of the better painted ones. And three, like I said, you're going to be seeing a lot of these guys going forward to begin with. So it makes sense to start here, really, I suppose. But the other thing I want to do is, the thing is, I look around at a lot of the Warhammer 40k stuff that you do see online on YouTube and what have you, and a lot of it, in fact, most of it probably is very focused on the competitive aspect of the game. By which I mean sort of tournament-related stuff, you know, playing the game competitively, like it's, you know, very complicated, very expensive chess, you know, that sort of side of the game, the rules, the crunch, as we call it, that part of the game. Whereas the reason I got into 40k was because I loved the narrative, the fluff, as we call it, the lore, the universe, the various stories that have been written there, you know, in all the Black Library novels that have come out over the years. That was the stuff that got me into 40k. Whenever I built an army of these guys, it was never because I thought that the rules for them were good and I could win lots of games with them. It was because I thought that the background for them was cool and interesting. And I want to see more of that on YouTube, and I've got tired of sort of sitting around and waiting for that to happen. I've decided, well, I'm going to sort of help make that happen myself, and I figure I'm in a good position to do it, because as I said, I already kind of do this stuff. with things like my Skyrim playthrough, like Morrowind, like all that other stuff, you know? Like kind of try and get into the universe a bit and get into the lore and the narrative and the camera, will you focus please, thank you. And the technical difficulties and all that good stuff too apparently, but you know, that's the kind of thing I want to do. There's a few people out there who do it, but that's not enough, I don't think, you know. Particularly guys like Winters, like Liam over at Morehammer, both of which have provided me with just tons and tons of help and tips as I've gone through this journey of getting all this stuff ready and learning to do this kind of thing. And I can't thank those guys enough, and everyone within their little communities as well who have been very supportive and helpful if any of them are watching this. Thanks guys, you guys rock, you're awesome. So, right, let me start to wrap this up a bit. So in short, what can you expect to see going forward? Well, as I said, Warhammer 40,000 battle report videos, but other stuff too. As I said, I get really into the lore and the background of all this kind of thing, and all of my armies, these guys included, have their own kind of backstory and their own special characters within it who have their own histories and stuff like that. Like these guys you're looking at here, for example. The captain, the librarian, these two lieutenants, the standard bearer guy over there with the standard of the chapter there, who the chapter is incidentally, they're called the Revenants, as you can see there. They used to be called the Emperor's Revenants, but then they had that title stripped from them because, well, they're not the Messiahs. They're very naughty boys, these guys. But we can talk more about that at another time, I think. Not necessarily in this video, but I think you get the idea here. There's a lot of thought I've put into the characters and the narrative and the stuff like that going forward. And as I do battles on the channel with these guys, you'll get to see the exploits of these various characters and see what they get up to. Some of them may die, some of them may get promoted after doing incredibly awesome heroic deeds. Some of them may ascend from the ranks of the random general soldiery, like that sergeant there, for example, or that sergeant there. There's all sorts of things that could happen, and I'm keen to see where this takes us. One thing I'd love to do is actual narrative campaigns that have like serious consequences and stuff like that, but I mean baby steps and all that. But it's all going to be a sort of connected story, if you like, going forward. Every battle you see these guys fight is going to sort of chronologically be within the I don't know the word right now, I really don't know the word, but you know what I mean, it's going to be within the continuity of it all. And the same will be the case for the other armies. I've not shown you them yet, but rest assured you'll see them. And they're all going to have like different relationships with one another. I mean, a lot of my battles I think are going to be set within the same part of space. My own little pocket, my own little corner of the 40k universe where all of this is kind of taking place. And that sort of thing. So you'll see battle reports with these guys where we'll see the battles they fight in and the various hijinks they get involved in. But also, I'll probably do videos where I look at these individual characters or the army as a whole, and I talk about who they are, where they've come from, what makes them tick, that sort of thing. There'll be other sort of more technical stuff too, you know, occasionally maybe a painting tutorial and stuff like that, because I do get a lot of questions every now and again. Like, how do I paint this or how do I paint that? And I do painting streams as it is on Twitch already, but I do get things like when I took my custodians, my Adeptus Custodians over to Winter's channel, there was a few comments on that video saying, oh, these look really pretty, how did you do them? So yeah, I think maybe a few little bits and bobs like that I might end up doing too, but generally speaking, as I said, the focus is going to be on the battles and the story and the characters you see here and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a new thing, it's going to be an interesting thing, and I know people don't like change and don't like new things, and yeah, I get it, I know, I understand, but this is something I'm quite passionate about, this is something I want to do, and usually in the past, whenever I've been passionate about something and really eager to do it, it's generally sort of turned out quite well, so I'm reasonably confident, to be honest with you. I think if I've got the passion to do something, I can make it work, and this hopefully will be no exception. So yeah, there you go, folks. I think that's all I've got to really say for myself, other than, yeah, there's going to be, as I said, the normal video game stuff is not going anywhere. You know, Oblivion is not going anywhere, Morrowind is not going anywhere. You know, New Vegas, Fallout, all of these things. And as those new games like that get released over the years, I will continue playing them and I will continue doing that kind of stuff. But you know, times change, and sometimes you've got to change with them a bit. And this is me changing with the times a little bit and moving to something that is new for this channel and something that I'm excited about and something that I'm interested in. And hopefully it will work out quite well. I mean, I really do hope it does, because to be honest with you, I spent an awful lot of time and money on this. But I would have done that anyway, because I love playing 40k whether I'm recording it or not, to tell you the truth. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, so 40k on the channel in the future, it'll be a thing. Also, maybe other stuff too. We've got 40k, we've got Kill Team, we've got Necromunda, we've got Dungeons and Dragons, although I haven't planned quite that far ahead yet, but that's another thing at some point that you might see. And I don't have a picture of the rulebook for this one because it's not actually out yet, but you know, Adeptus Titanicus 2, Titans, big robots, fun, like it. Maybe somewhere much later down the line, if this turns out to be quite successful, you know, some Age of Sigmar, Skaven. Yes. But also, and I really can't stress this enough, yeah, still video game stuff. You know, this isn't going anywhere. I don't want people to be alarmed, because people are easily alarmed, you know. You know, YouTube comments can get a little panicky sometimes when you announce something new or some change occurring. You know, people don't always take it the best, but anyway, this is also incidentally the only video game related book I could find. But I suppose I probably could have put a game case on there, that would have been more appropriate, but anyway, yeah, so this book. It's a nice book, actually, by the way, but anyway, that's not the point. Alright, folks, that's it. I think I've probably talked enough by this point, but yeah. I think I'll just sign off with another shot of these guys, and yeah, so there you are. Ladies and gents, tabletop content coming to a channel near you very soon. It will be on this channel. I won't put it on a separate channel as I'd consider doing, because that doesn't really work out very well in the long run, and I'd like to give this sort of stuff the signal boost it really deserves that it would get from being on the main channel, as opposed to sequestered away on a separate one. So hopefully people don't mind too much if they're not into this, seeing this pop up in their sub feeds, but hey, whatever. So that's it, announcement done, out of the way. Great, awesome. I've actually got someone coming over this weekend to play a game with me of this for the channel, so you can expect to see this stuff reasonably soon, I think. Depends on how long it takes me to edit it all together, because rest assured, editing this stuff together takes a hell of a lot longer than editing video game stuff does. So that's another reason why I won't ever stop doing video game stuff, because it's easier. This is hard. This whole camera thing, this is difficult, as it turns out. Who'd have thunk it? But yeah, lots of editing involved. But anyway, I think that's it, everybody. Cheers, thanks for watching. If you are still watching by this point, thanks for watching all the way through. I'm going to stop now, because honestly, if I don't, I could probably sit here talking about this stuff for hours, as I inevitably probably will in the coming weeks and months, but I need to stop right now. Keep this as short and sweet as possible. Hopefully I don't know how long it's been in total, because I can't see the previous footage added up, but hopefully it hasn't gone on to something ridiculous like 30 minutes. But that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.